From the San Antonio Spurs stealing the top pick, to fans being unable to contain their excitement over Jordan Poole, here's a recap of the best and worst picks in the NBA 2023 draft. Some major stuff went down at the 2023 NBA draft at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. The Spurs lucked out by getting Victor Wembanyama as their top pick. Before this draft, things weren't going so great for the team. They'd missed the playoffs for 4 freaking years in a row, and it's all been one big mess. The whole thing started with Kawhi Leonard getting hurt, to that short-lived DeMar DeRozan experiment. But Wembanyama is surely going to be a game-changer for this team. The crowd went nuts when NBA Commissioner Adam Silver called his name as the #1 pick.
The San Antonio Spurs select Victor Wembanyama from Nanterre, France.
And why wouldn't they? The kid's a new breed of talent. Standing at 7'4", he will absolutely dominate. And he's gonna put the Spurs back on the map as a legit contender. We can't wait to see what he brings to the court. Then the Charlotte Hornets made a big move in the NBA draft by taking Brandon Miller from Alabama with the 2nd pick.
With the 2nd pick in the 2023 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Brandon Miller from the University of Alabama.
The super athletic 6'9" player has got some serious shooting skills. I'm talking about a smooth stroke that can knock down shots from way outside. The Hornets went with Miller over Scoot Henderson from the NBA G League Ignite, even though there were some concerns about Miller's character. But hey, they must have seen something special in him to make that choice. Plus, Miller was named the Player of the Year in the Southeastern Conference as a freshman, so he's definitely got game. This is a big deal for the Hornets because they've been in a playoff drought for 7 seasons straight. In 2022, they finished with one of the league's worst records. But with Miller's ability to defend multiple positions, he's gonna bring some serious firepower to the Hornets. With the 2nd pick down, the Portland Trail Blazers selected Scoot Henderson. This pick means a lot of things for the team. Henderson describes himself as being an aggressive attacker and someone who puts constant pressure on the defense while also bringing it on the defensive end. Some say Henderson might be part of a trade, if the team wants to bring in a big-name veteran to team up with Damian Lillard. Or if Lillard asks for a trade himself, Henderson could play a big role in the Blazers' rebuilding process. But who knows? They might just keep them both and create a dynamic duo on the court. Meanwhile, we had Amen and Ausar Thompson making history as the first-ever twins to both go top 5 in the draft. How cool is that? Amen got picked up by the Houston Rockets at number 4, and right after him, Ausar got snatched by the Detroit Pistons at number 5. Talk about a double dose of talent. These Thompson brothers have been on everyone's radar for a while now. They've been crushing it as 2 of the best prospects in the game. Oh, and guess what? They both played for Overtime Elite, and now they're the highest drafted players from that program. So keep an eye on the Thompson brothers, because they're about to take the NBA by storm with their skills. But not everyone was this lucky during the draft. People were surprised to see Cam Whitmore being all the way down to number 20, because most fans and analysts thought he had a shot at being the number 4 pick just a couple of weeks before the draft. In fact, he was expected to go in the top 10, even the top 5, in the mock drafts. But his fall in the rankings might have been his own doing. As it turns out, he had some rough interviews and uninspiring workouts, which completely overshadowed his college performances and physical talents. Now, he has landed in the Houston Rockets, a team that's going to give him plenty of opportunities to show off his scoring skills. But let's not forget, this dude was one of the best scorers in his class. You better believe Whitmore's going to use this slide as fuel to prove every team that passed on him wrong. And while Cam might prove to be a star for the Rockets, things aren't looking so good for Orlando Magic. Now, don't get me wrong, Anthony Black and Jett Howard are both talented players who can make a difference for the Orlando Magic. But here's the thing, fans are having a hard time understanding how they fit in with the team. Black was considered a top 10 prospect, no doubt about it, but now he's joining a backcourt that's already packed with Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, and Cole Anthony. It's starting to feel a bit crowded back there, don't you think? And then we have Howard. Orlando grabbed him with the 11th overall pick, but honestly, it looks like they could have waited a bit longer, especially when there were other players available who could shoot the three-pointer better and contribute more overall. But that's not the only underwhelming pick of the season. The Oklahoma City Thunder had a chance to make a big splash with their cap space and grab some top talents like Chet Holmgren. But Executive Vice President Sam Presti decided to take a more patient approach as usual. Instead of going for the quick fix, the Thunders made a trade to move up in the draft. They took on Davis Bertans' $17 million salary to jump from number 12 to number 10, and settled for Cason Wallace from Kentucky. Now, some might question Wallace's ability to score off the dribble, but hey, the Thunders don't need him to be their main offensive guy, which makes me think this decision isn't necessarily a bad one. But let's be honest, it is a bit disappointing. Regardless of how much the Oklahoma City Thunder naturally improve next season, they had the chance to go for a major leap forward. However, it seems like that's not happening anymore. There were also some trades that really shocked fans. The Golden State Warriors made one of the biggest moves on draft day with a surprising trade. They traded in Jordan Poole, who, by the way, they had invested a whopping $128 million in. In his place, they took in the 12-time All-Star point guard Chris Paul. For Poole, this trade offers a fresh start and a chance to escape one very sticky situation. Before all this, Poole was involved in an argument with Draymond Green that quickly turned ugly with both guys being at each other's throats. The team's chemistry suffered, overshadowing their entire season and destroying their title defense. With the Washington team, Poole can now rebuild his career and potentially turn into a star player. He is about to become the top dog on the Washington Wizards. He'll have the chance to show off his skills and make a name for himself on a team that's starting fresh. On the other hand, the Memphis Grizzlies made one of the underwhelming trades. Fans were waiting for them to make a move that would strengthen their team, but they were only left disappointed. After Dillon Brooks left, the team really needed someone to fill the gap that he left. But picking Marcus Smart for that is probably not their smartest decision. Now don't get me wrong, getting Marcus from the Boston Celtics has its perks, since he brings some serious skills to the perimeter. But here's the thing, they gave up not one, but 2 first-round picks for this deal. That's like trading your prized baseball card collection for a pack of gum. Sure, the Grizzlies are addressing some needs, but it feels like they're still missing the big picture. Let's hope the rest of their offseason makes up for this underwhelming trade. So what did the fans have to say about this whole thing? Well, turns out they were busy making memes on Twitter, specifically on Victor. There were tweets everywhere joking about how he would be towering over players. Meanwhile, there were others who were excited to see the picks. Penn State fans specifically were super happy to see Jalen Pickett and Seth Lundy getting picked. One fan said they witnessed history when they saw the draft. So in the end, the basketball world was buzzing with all the happenings and surprises that unfolded. From the fresh faces entering the league to the movement of established stars, the draft brought a lot of surprise and anticipation. And there you have it. From fans being unable to contain their excitement over Jordan Poole to the San Antonio Spurs stealing the top pick, this was the NBA Draft 2023 recap.